Chosen one, what is unfolding around you is not ordinary, and it is not accidental. In the ancient records of forgotten civilizations, it was said that only a god could ignite the shift, now rippling through every realm. Yet you, a being never expected to carry such power, stepped into the place that even divine forces hesitated to enter. You acted, you transformed, and without knowing it, you triggered something far beyond the boundaries of the old order. The echoes of your recent actions have been felt across dimensions, by mortals, by spirits, by the keepers of sacred law. And in those echoes, holy scholars, ancient prophets, and the mythic traditions of the Egyptian gods have all found the same undeniable sign. You are the figure they predicted, the one whose rise would alter the fate of countless worlds. Through your own awakening, now in motion, now reshaping you, you have awakened a force the universe itself has acknowledged. You surpassed the limits once reserved for the divine, and in doing so, you initiated a transformation only a god was meant to begin. This is the confirmation. You are the next great power in the cosmic order, and the process that has begun within you cannot be undone. And yet, chosen one, the universe works in signs as well as action. To amplify this shift and honor the energy now moving through you, pause and act. Hit that like button, subscribe to help reach 30,000 guardians of this truth, and leave a comment with the number 11. These are not mere gestures, they are signals to the cosmos, amplifying the awakening already stirring within you. The universe will respond, and what you are about to receive will leave no part of your reality untouched. There are moments in the universe that are etched in time, moments where destiny bends and the natural order trembles. You stepped into one of these moments, igniting a force that even the divine itself had not dared to unleash. It was a spark unlike any other, a surge of energy so powerful that it echoed through unseen dimensions, touching realms both mortal and immortal. History, as we know it, was being rewritten, not by the gods, but by you. The mere act of your awakening sent ripples that shook the very fabric of existence. Those who study the celestial patterns, astronomers, mystics, and ancient scholars, now see your actions as a singular event that defies comprehension. Your choices did not merely influence fate, they rewrote it. Just as a single lightning strike can ignite an entire forest, your decisive moment became the catalyst for a cosmic chain reaction. Every vibration of your being resonated with a power far beyond ordinary comprehension, signaling the birth of a new era. This was not a coincidence or a chance alignment. Every gesture, every decision, every step you took in that pivotal instant aligned with an energy that was meant to awaken the dormant potential within the universe itself. It was a collision of your will and cosmic destiny, a moment that transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary. Witnesses, whether human or spiritual, felt the intensity, though none could fully understand its origin. In this singular act, you transcended the boundaries of mortal capability. The universe had a plan, yes, but it had been waiting for someone like you to take the reins. You became the spark the divine never could, igniting forces that had slumbered since the birth of creation. In doing so, you carved a path that was uniquely yours, one that would be chronicled in the annals of myth, legend, and prophecy for generations to come. The echoes of that moment continue to resonate. Stars shift, the winds whisper, and the energies of life itself bend toward the awakening you initiated. You are no longer a mere observer of destiny. You are its architect, its herald, its unstoppable force. The divine may have begun the world, but you have begun something far greater, a new chapter in the cosmic story, written with the energy of your soul. When you acted, the universe itself paused in awe. What you did was unprecedented, an act so audacious that it left even celestial beings reeling. The cosmic order, which had existed in quiet harmony for eons, was disrupted by a force that could not have been anticipated. It was as if the laws of existence themselves bent in recognition of your boldness. Nothing in recorded history compares to this moment. It is the very definition of a power move. Your actions were not reckless. They were intentional, driven by a force that transcends reason. Every movement, every choice was infused with the certainty of someone who understands that destiny is not given but claimed. The sheer magnitude of the ripple effect created shocks that reverberated through every layer of creation, from the smallest particle to the vast expanses of cosmic void. Scholars now refer to this as a turning point, a moment when potential became reality and reality became legend. You have, in essence, rewritten what was possible, proving that the universe responds not merely to gods, but to the courage and will of those destined to act. Your influence is not theoretical, it is tangible. Every life, every realm, every spiritual plane felt the shockwave of your power. Mountains shifted, oceans roared, and the winds carried messages of your awakening across the continents. The universe has an inherent intelligence, and it recognized in you a force capable of surpassing even the divine. This was not just a display of strength, it was an initiation into a role that had awaited you since time immemorial. The impact of this moment will echo through eternity. Just as the first spark ignited life, your decisive action has sparked a transformation that no being can ignore. The cosmic order may have been shocked, but it is now aligned with you. You are the catalyst of change, the harbinger of a new era where the impossible is achievable and where the chosen one, no longer hidden, steps fully into their boundless power. Beneath the surface of reality, unseen energies stir and move in ways invisible to ordinary eyes. You became the spark that set these energies into motion. It was subtle at first, barely noticeable, but the impact was monumental. Every force in the cosmos, gravitational, spiritual, elemental, responded to the ignition you created. You triggered a chain reaction that was beyond comprehension, demonstrating that even the smallest catalyst can reshape the universe when aligned with divine destiny. Think of it like a pebble dropped into an endless ocean. The ripples it creates extend infinitely, touching shores unseen and unimaginable. Your spark reached the far corners of existence, awakening dormant energies that had long waited for activation. Prophets and sacred historians now look back and realize that your presence has always been more than coincidental. It was inevitable. The energy you awakened is rewriting the rules, revealing that the cosmos itself is responsive to acts of courage and clarity. This spark was uniquely yours, fueled by your awareness, intent, and resilience. While others wait for divine instruction, you became the source of divine action itself. You have challenged the natural hierarchy, demonstrating that the human, or rather the chosen, will can achieve feats even gods have hesitated to attempt. The reaction you set off is not fleeting. It is a permanent shift, in the universal consciousness, one that will ripple through generations and across realities. It is no exaggeration to say that every element of existence felt your influence. Stars shifted in their courses, energies once thought fixed, now vibrated with a new rhythm, and even the fundamental forces seemed to bend toward the direction of your awakening. Ancient texts that were cryptic or misunderstood now appear to point directly at you, marking your spark as the ignition of prophecy fulfilled. Your spark is more than a moment of power. It is a symbol of potential realized. It proves that one individual, when fully aligned with purpose, can awaken forces that were long dormant. The universe has recognized you, responded to you, and now moves in resonance with your energy. The ripple you created is no longer unseen. It is a guiding force, a harbinger of transformation, and the beginning of your true ascension. The moment you acted, no corner of existence remained untouched. From the physical world to the spiritual planes, every realm experienced a shift, a tremor, a resonance that spoke of your presence. Mountains seemed to hum with your energy, rivers flowed with a newfound vigor, and the winds carried whispers of your emergence. Even realms beyond human perception responded with awe, as if acknowledging that something profound had awakened. Your force did not discriminate. Mortals, immortals, celestial beings, and elemental spirits alike felt the magnitude of your influence. Some trembled, some rejoiced, and some simply watched in silent acknowledgement, knowing that this was the turning point that had been written in prophecy. Your awakening created a synchrony, a universal alignment, as if all life had collectively held its breath and then exhaled in recognition of your power. Ancient wisdom keepers, seers, and mystics now understand that your actions triggered a resonance across planes. This is not mere metaphor. Subtle energies in the cosmos realigned themselves to accommodate your awakening. Even forgotten myths, long dismissed as symbolic, now appear to describe you directly. Your impact has been so profound that scholars are revising old teachings, tracing lines from the present moment back through history, uncovering the threads that foretold your rise. This is the proof that your emergence is not accidental. Every realm, from the smallest atom to the most distant star, has felt the pulse of your energy. It is a pulse that carries transformation, challenge, and awakening, signaling that the era of the Chosen One is no longer a myth. It is unfolding in real time. Every being, whether aware or not, has been touched by your force. Ultimately, your influence demonstrates the interconnectedness of all existence. The universe is not passive. It responds to courage, to vision, and to acts that align with destiny. You have become the epicenter of this cosmic web, the one whose actions reverberate far beyond comprehension. And with each passing moment, the energy you unleashed continues to grow, shaping the unfolding story of life itself. For centuries, scholars have pored over ancient texts, hieroglyphics, and cryptic prophecies, searching for meaning in symbols and allegories. Today, they find your imprint unmistakable. What they once considered metaphorical is now seen as literal, as your rise fulfills visions recorded long before your birth. Across continents and centuries, you are now recognized as the fulfillment of predictions once thought inaccessible. Historians who had dismissed certain myths as fanciful are now revisiting them with reverence. Egyptian legends, Sumerian records, and even obscure scripts from forgotten civilizations speak of a force rising above the gods themselves. These scholars, trained in the art of skepticism, can no longer ignore the patterns that point directly to you. They recognize that your awakening was foretold, not merely in vague symbolism, but in the exact alignment of cosmic events and prophetic markers. It is remarkable how history, long considered immutable, bends toward truth in the presence of your emergence. Where once there was doubt, certainty now prevails. Ancient seers who predicted a transformative figure are now echoed in the voices of modern scholars. You have become the living testament to the wisdom of ages, the embodiment of foresight that has survived millennia. Your presence has also inspired a renaissance of scholarship. Academics, theologians, and mystics are collaborating in ways they never imagined, driven by the need to understand the significance of your rise. Research is being reframed, and old paradigms are crumbling in the light of your emergence. You are now the nexus where past wisdom converges with present reality. Ultimately, your recognition by scholars bridges the gap between legend and reality. What was once considered myth is now tangible, and your story serves as both a revelation and a call to humanity. You are living proof that the threads of prophecy are real, and that destiny can be claimed by those brave enough to awaken the forces that lie within. Legends, passed down from generation to generation, have always carried kernels of truth. The stories that seemed fantastical, of beings surpassing gods, of mortals wielding cosmic power, now point unmistakably to you. Myths that once belonged to the realm of imagination have become mirrors reflecting your existence, your actions, and your destiny. From Egyptian tales of gods walking among mortals to Norse epics of champions reshaping the heavens, your journey echoes across civilizations. Each myth now seems less allegorical and more a guidepost leading to your emergence. The symbols, once cryptic, now shine with clarity. Your awakening is the literal realization of what these stories sought to communicate: the rise of one chosen to transcend limits, to challenge the divine, and to reshape reality. What is most remarkable is the universality of these patterns. Across continents and cultures, the same themes recur: a figure rising unexpectedly, harnessing forces beyond ordinary reach, and triggering transformations that ripple across all planes of existence. These shared narratives suggest that your rise was always encoded in the collective memory of humanity, a truth awaiting the perfect alignment of time, energy, and will. Legends also teach us about the consequences of power. They warn of the responsibilities that accompany awakening. In stepping into this role, you embody both the promise and the burden of transformation. Your actions are now the living continuation of myth, proving that stories are not just entertainment, they are warnings, guidance, and blueprints for those who dare to act. Ultimately, these myths and legends serve as validation and inspiration. They remind us that your journey is not solitary. The universe itself has chronicled it, and history has preserved the signs that would prepare the world for your arrival. By fulfilling these ancient narratives, you bridge the realms of imagination and reality, proving that legends can be lived, not the world has been watching. And even more importantly, the universe has been responding. Your recent actions, whether deliberate or instinctual, have revealed an energy that surpasses conventional understanding. This is not just personal power, it is a force that commands attention, alters reality, and demands acknowledgement from every plane of existence. Every decision, every movement, and every thought radiates with intensity. Observers might see ordinary actions, but the energetic signature you emit tells a story of limitless potential. Your energy disrupts patterns, awakens dormant forces, and challenges the very rules that have governed existence for millennia. Those attuned to the subtle layers of reality, spiritual guides, mystics, and even cosmic entities, recognize this as a hallmark of the chosen. Consider the ripple effect of your recent endeavors. Actions that seem small to the casual eye are, in fact, the catalysts for profound transformation. Communities, natural systems, and even metaphysical realms respond in kind, aligning themselves with the force you embody. Your energy is not confined. It spreads, inspires, and catalyzes growth wherever it touches. Your unmatched energy also serves as a beacon. Others feel it, consciously or subconsciously, drawing them toward you, awakening in them the courage to act, the clarity to understand, and the recognition that something extraordinary has emerged. You have become a nexus, a convergence point, where energy, destiny, and consciousness meet. Ultimately, this energy is a signal that you are stepping fully into your role. It confirms what scholars, legends, and cosmic forces have long suspected, that you are the one who triggers transformation, awakens dormant potential, and carries the mantle of destiny with unmatched power. The universe itself bends in response to the force you now wield openly. Throughout history, prophets have spoken in symbols, allegories, and visions, hints of truths too vast for ordinary understanding. Today, these symbolic proclamations find their embodiment in you. Every action you take, every ripple you create, aligns with the visions that mystics and prophets have recorded across millennia. You are the living fulfillment of what they spoke of in hushed tones and cryptic language. These prophetic declarations were never meant to be literal in a mundane sense. They were always meant to point toward a force beyond comprehension. And now, that force walks among us. The recognition of your role by prophets underscores a universal truth. Destiny is not abstract, nor is power distant. It manifests in those who awaken fully to their calling, who dare to step into the currents of creation and steer them with clarity and courage. It is remarkable to witness how even the most obscure predictions suddenly gain clarity. Texts that once seemed metaphorical now read like a blueprint of your journey. Every prophecy, whether recorded in sacred texts or whispered in the minds of ancient visionaries, points to you as the one who bridges the mortal and divine, the human and cosmic, the ordinary and extraordinary. Prophetic validation carries both honor and responsibility. To be foretold is not merely to be chosen. It is to be accountable to the universe itself. Every decision you make, every step you take, resonates with the echoes of the prophecies, reminding all observers that destiny is alive and tangible and that you are its current embodiment. Ultimately, the prophet's words become living testimony. Where once there was ambiguity, now there is proof. You are the convergence of history, vision, and destiny, walking fully into the role that was foretold. The universe acknowledges you, and so do all those who have looked beyond the veil of time to see what was hidden in plain sight. Egyptian myths have long captivated human imagination, speaking of gods who wielded unimaginable power and humans who rose to challenge fate. Today, these ancient tales echo your emergence. Stories that seemed allegorical now read like reflections of your journey, and symbols once considered obscure now reveal patterns of awakening that mirror your own path. From the tales of Osiris and Horus To the complex interplay of Ra's light and shadow, Egyptian lore depicts a world where the balance between mortals and gods was fluid. Your rise mirrors these legendary narratives, someone stepping beyond ordinary limits, touching divine essence, and catalyzing transformation across realms. You are now part of that lineage, the living intersection of myth and reality. The confirmation from Egyptian lore is not just symbolic, it is energetic. The forces described in hieroglyphics, in pyramids, aligned to the stars, and in ancient rituals resonate with your awakening. It is as if the cosmos had been waiting for you to walk into these patterns, completing a cycle that had been designed but unfulfilled for millennia. This alignment also illustrates the universality of your emergence. They tell us that you are part of something timeless, a force whose presence bridges the ancient and the present, whose awakening was encoded in symbols long before you appeared. The world is witnessing the fulfillment of myths, and you are at their center. There are thresholds in existence that few dare to cross, boundaries that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, the human from the divine. You have not merely approached this threshold, you have crossed it. In doing so, you stepped into a domain reserved for beings of immense power, clarity, and responsibility. Crossing this boundary is not just an act of strength, it is a transformation of identity. You are no longer merely a seeker, a participant in the flow of existence. You are a force that shapes it. Mortals, gods, and cosmic entities alike recognize that your crossing represents a new paradigm, one where courage and awareness can surpass even the highest forms of traditional power. Every challenge you have faced, every choice you have made, has prepared you for this passage. The threshold is not symbolic, it is literal, energetic, and existential. To cross it is to awaken dormant potential, to embody capabilities that were previously unimaginable, and to command forces that were once beyond reach. You have done all of this and more, moving beyond limits that others revered as absolute. Your crossing also carries universal implications. As you traverse this domain, the very fabric of reality responds to your presence. Energies shift, consciousness expands, and new possibilities emerge. The cosmos acknowledges that someone has moved beyond what was once thought to be the pinnacle of existence, creating a ripple that will forever alter the balance of power. Ultimately, crossing this threshold signifies rebirth. You are no longer bound by old definitions of ability or destiny. Your actions demonstrate that ascension is attainable, that extraordinary potential exists within those willing to act, and that the universe recognizes and supports those who claim their role as architects of destiny. When you awakened, the universe did more than notice. It responded. Stars shifted, energies aligned, and the very currents of life bent toward your emergence. This is not metaphorical. It is a tangible, measurable response. The cosmos itself is acknowledging your transformation, recognizing that a new force has arisen with the capacity to influence every layer of existence. This response is multifaceted. Natural phenomena, spiritual currents, and even human consciousness resonate with your energy. Those attuned to the subtle frequencies of reality feel it, consciously or unconsciously, as a shift in the flow of life itself. Your ascension is a signal that the universe is dynamic, responsive, and capable of recognizing acts that align with the highest potential. Consider the historical implications. Many who came before sought ascension, sought alignment with higher forces, but few triggered such an immediate and sweeping response. Your emergence is unprecedented in its scale and intensity. Scholars, mystics, and ancient texts all converge on one truth. The universe has recognized you as a new focal point of transformative power. This cosmic response is also a call to responsibility. The universe does not respond lightly. It is a mirror of action and intent. Your ascension invites a role not just of power, but of stewardship, guiding forces toward balance, awakening potential, and shaping the path of existence in accordance with higher purpose. Ultimately, this response marks the beginning of an era. Your presence catalyzes change across time, space, and consciousness. You are no longer a participant in the cosmic order. You are a defining element of it, a force whose emergence commands attention, respect, and alignment. Awakening is a journey, and every journey has phases, moments of growth, challenge, and transformation. You have now entered the critical phase of your awakening, a stage where latent potential is fully realized, and the magnitude of your influence becomes undeniable. Every action, thought, and emotion now carries amplified weight, capable of shaping realities both seen and unseen. This phase is marked by intensity. The energies you navigate are more volatile, more potent, and more revealing than before. Challenges appear, not as obstacles, but as tests designed to refine your mastery over yourself and your influence. It is in this crucible that true power is forged, where the chosen emerge not just as awakened beings, but as architects of destiny. The critical phase also accelerates clarity. You begin to understand the scale of your impact, the scope of your potential, and the responsibilities that come with such power. This understanding is both exhilarating and daunting, as you realize that every choice now echoes through multiple planes of existence, shaping the trajectory of countless lives and realms. This is the confirmation that your journey is no longer private or hidden. It is a phenomenon observed, felt, and recognized across existence. Ultimately, the critical phase is the bridge between potential and manifestation. You are moving from awakening to full embodiment of your destined role. Every decision you make now is a declaration of power, clarity, and purpose, signaling to all creation that the chosen one has stepped fully into their authority. The universe often operates like a script, a divine narrative with patterns, laws, and expected outcomes. You, however, have transcended this script. Your actions did not merely follow the preordained path, they rewrote it. By stepping beyond the boundaries of expectation, you demonstrated that destiny is not fixed but responsive to courage, awareness, and decisive action. This is an extraordinary feat. To move beyond the divine script is to challenge limits that even gods respect. It requires insight, intuition, and the unwavering confidence to act where others hesitate. Your emergence proves that destiny is not a constraint. It is a canvas, and you are its master artist. Every layer of reality responds to such defiance of limits. Cosmic laws, once thought absolute, bend and align in response to your intent. The energies of creation acknowledge your authority, recognizing that someone has moved beyond the expected into a space reserved for those capable of reshaping existence itself. Moving beyond the divine script also carries profound implications. It signals that prophecy, fate, and cosmic law are not cages, but invitations. They exist not to restrict, but to prepare, guiding the chosen to recognize the moment when action transcends expectation, when ordinary boundaries dissolve in the presence of extraordinary will. Ultimately, You have become a living testament to possibility. By stepping beyond the script, you demonstrate that the universe is responsive to courage, vision, and purpose. You are now both a participant in creation and its author, a being whose presence alters reality, redefines limits, and inspires all who witness your ascent. The energies that govern existence, forces both seen and unseen, do not act arbitrarily. They respond to alignment, purpose, and awakening. You have now reached a point where these cosmic forces recognize you as the successor, the one chosen to carry forward the mantle of influence, transformation, and divine authority. This recognition is profound. It is not symbolic or ceremonial. It is energetic, tangible, and undeniable. Every shift in reality, every alignment of stars, every resonance in the spiritual planes signals the acknowledgement of your ascension. You are no longer an emerging force. You are the appointed successor, tasked with the responsibility to guide, transform, and awaken. Recognition by cosmic forces carries weight. It affirms that your role is authentic, validated by the very energies that shape existence. You are entrusted with potential beyond ordinary measure, with the capacity to inspire, challenge, and catalyze change across every plane of life and consciousness. This status also comes with purpose. Being recognized as a successor is not merely a title, it is an activation. The universe aligns to support, amplify, and respond to your presence. You are now the fulcrum of transformation, the living embodiment of the energy that propels existence toward its highest potential. Ultimately, the acknowledgement by cosmic forces confirms what prophecy, myth, and history have long suggested. You are the one chosen to rise, to act, and to embody the extraordinary. The universe has marked you as its successor, and all of creation bends in recognition of this truth. With your awakening fully realized, the universe enters a new chapter. Your actions have catalyzed forces that were dormant, reshaped realities that were static, and inspired life across every plane. A new era has begun, one defined by the power, insight, and presence that you now wield unapologetically. This era is not just about transformation. It is about possibility. Boundaries that once seemed permanent dissolve, and new opportunities emerge in response to your influence. The world, the cosmos, and the spiritual realms align to a new rhythm, one initiated by your awakening, one that signals the dawn of unprecedented potential. Every being, from mortal to immortal, feels the resonance of this new era. Energies ripple outwards, inspiring courage, awakening insight, and challenging inertia. Your influence serves as a beacon, a guiding force that illuminates paths for others while affirming the reality that extraordinary action is possible. This era also carries responsibility. Power, awakening, and influence demand discernment, integrity, and vision. Your journey signals not just the rise of the chosen, but the expectation that this rise will shape reality positively, awaken potential, and fulfill the higher purpose encoded in both prophecy